Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central European summertime, I live stream chess over on Twitch. You're welcome to challenge me to a 1v1. You're welcome to laugh at me. You're welcome to teach me something. And where else do you get great commentary such as this? Or Yoda playing chess.
What move are you gonna?
I do that every single Wednesday, so now you know. But now let's get into the actual video of Road to 1000, because I have just reached a level in chess that I have never been at before, rating 600. Yes, sir. Are we gonna stay here? Time will tell, I suppose, like it always does. But today I bring you the game that brought me to my all-time highest elo. So let's get into it. So I start out with the London, and you might be thinking, geez, when will you ever stop using this opening? And to that I say, until I reach a rating point where this opening gets absolutely destroyed, and I don't know when that is. But we have seen a little bit of improvement on the opposite side of the board on my opponents, because this move, I actually like this move against the London, because the general idea about plebs like me that uses this London is getting our knight here. And if you can test this with your bishops and your knights, you're just gonna lose this because I've already set it up. That was my plan from the beginning, right from getting this bishop out here, was to get my knight here. So actually moving this pawn up, I think it's a great move. I can understand that the engine doesn't like it because you don't, have any access to your black square bishop. Hello, it's me from the future, and I'm just stopping by to correct some of the horrible commentary I sometimes do. But, from this move, I just play standard London opening. I get my pawn up, he gets his knight out. Now I get this pawn up. I know it says that the bishop move is best, but the reason why I move my pawn here is because I hate whenever his knight has the ability to go here. I like to block that immediately, because otherwise I always forget. And anyways, you're looking for this structure nonetheless. And in this position, we're going to see why I also like the pawn move on f6, because it prepares you for a move like e5 that really contests, everything you want to do with the London about getting your knight here. Because now you're actually forcing me to make a decision. Do I take here? And I actually do in this game. And it's actually best to slide back with your bishop immediately. Because, and I'll show you this, if he retakes, then you have to slide back anyway. And now he has, the center completely to his own, and he can just develop normally, which, isn't really great for you. But that is not what happened this game. This is too confusing to look at. I take, and he doesn't retake. He pushes onto a pawn that is a little bit, it's already defended by, the bishop. So it isn't horrible, but taking is definitely the best because it forces me to change up my game plan. Now I just continue with the game plan since, I now have, absolute control over this square. Yeah. And now I just pin the knight to the king. It's a pretty standard move. It's outside of the London. Usually want it right here, but it just made sense here since he pushed this pawn. I was like, all right, so if you're gonna have to push me back, you can't really do that in a non-annoying way. The best you can probably do is block with your bishop. Probably not your queen. I mean, that doesn't lift anything, right? That doesn't lift this knight being bogged down. So now you actually have no attackers on this, and maybe it would be a great idea for me to push here, but I don't. And I actually think, yeah, that is actually the best move that the engine says. This was a miss. This is actually a very good move, because where are you gonna go? This move is very annoying, because whatever you choose to do with the queen, it is quite annoying. If you decide to go back, free knight with a check, and you're looking at, the rook. You're up a full rook. And let's say that does not happen and you instead take this. Oh, now you're forked, right? This is a great move. So I absolutely missed that, but yeah, maybe some other time. All right, so now he decides to push this away because he finds it quite annoying. But he ruins his pawn structure in doing so. And now I see the move, and it's still a good move. It's still a good move, but I don't see the fork. I just go back with my bishop. I don't know why. I think If I remember correctly, like playing this match, I actually thought afterwards, right after moving the bishop, like, oh, there was a genius fork on the board. But, you know, probably not the last fork I'll miss. Now I just, you know, I see that this pawn is completely defenseless, so I go in to take it. Bishop is way in deep, man. And now I see the fork, but now it's kind of too late. Not really. Now apparently the best move is just developing your knight. I don't really understand why. Probably because this isn't pinned and you can just take it and then we have to retake. Let's see what happens. That is exactly what happens, so that is probably the reason why. Then I slide back. I should have traded here, but I didn't like sliding back here. And I was thinking you know, halt his push on this side by getting it here. I just didn't think there was any reason to do it. Maybe I should have traded here, but I didn't. I think it's fine. The engine says it's a mistake. I say it's fine. And now he brings his knight onto the middle of the board, but that is easily repelled. But I actually don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that is because I'm seeing that, you know, he can move one of his pieces here and I can't retake with the king. So I was thinking if he moves his knight here, which is what I thought he was going to prepare. So I decided to move my rook out of the way in order for it not to get, you know, absolutely blasted. You know, I kind of forgot that I can just do that anyways if he moves here. And it's probably better to push his knight away so that this red can be removed. But he doesn't take advantage of it, which is, this is an absolutely devastating and great move. Force me into the corner or this way. I realized that this situation over here is bad. But instead of thinking, okay, I need this knight to move away, I'm thinking, I'm gonna return back to normal London structure to try to break open here. But that is a very dumb idea because, you know, it's pretty much covered by 3 pieces and I'm not going to win this exchange ever. So I don't know why I push it. He still doesn't see how great this move is. But that's typical. And apparently I move my knight here to try to get into this position to block his bishop away from here. And also it's a nice position on the board because he can't really, you know, threaten it with his pawns. And it's also protected by a pawn. But yeah, he castles, that's fine. He then takes over here, which I've allowed to push for far way too long. I should probably take him here. Then I could have, you know, pushed his bishop back as well. And there's also this, so he would be forced to take, and that would have opened up my rook. But unless, you can always, you know, look back at stuff and be way smarter, right? So, and now I decide to move the knight away. Thank you. He moves away. I push my pawn. Not really... You know, I just didn't like it being absolutely looked on this with this bishop so that I couldn't move my rook. Apparently this file is better. I was thinking that, you know, I could put pressure on this because it isn't defended by anything. But he should have just gone back. He decides to defend with his knight. You know, just take this, and once he moves here, you win a bishop, right? I completely missed that. But, you know, there's no shortage of what I missed in this game. I think I had like 8 misses or something. But now we're beginning to find the good moves again. Going back with the queen. He decides to trade, which I wouldn't really recommend in that position. I don't know. I feel like black is kind of behind with all these weaknesses. You know, his pawns are disconnected. Let's just put it like that. He, you know, needs to realize there's a completely free pawn here. But he doesn't. And I don't realize that there's a completely free bishop there. This game is kind of a mess. I just take... I should have taken here again. But here I set up a pretty nice attack. I would say so myself. He decides just to push pawns. That's desperado moves. I don't want him to break my structure. So I decide to take. Which kind of still breaks my structure. And here I move in. I'm thinking, you know, I have 2 pawns on this. He's not going to take it with any of these. And I was correct. He just decides to push pawns. He's probably looking that this situation over here is kind of annoying, so he wants to have an escape. Now, I set up here. So if he takes, then I have this, and then I'm also looking down at the barrel here with a check, was what I was thinking, but apparently it's a mistake. I just need to keep, you know, taking this. And I don't know why I do it, but I feel like I set something up better. So exactly what I said happened. And now he takes here, but that rook's hanging with the check. So that wasn't a great move. He then moves back. And if you notice our time, we have actually spent most of this game's time, both of us. I'm kind of comfortable because I'm in the winning position with the most time on my hands, right? I have up 9 points, but I'm also thinking like it would be kind of a shame to let this game go on time. So once we do some of the last few moves, he gets his Desperado moves out. There is mate on the board. I don't really see it. I don't think so. But he decides to go here, and I decide to save my bishop. I just don't want it to crash down now, because I'm an idiot. Obviously, there is this here. And here, I'm thinking, once he makes this move, I'm thinking it would be kind of nice to end this with a checkmate instead. So I decide to go in here. I finally see it. I spend a few seconds, about 6 seconds on this move, thinking I really want to checkmate him. Please make your great move. I made him with 3 seconds left on the clock, at least his clock. That's much more satisfying ending than letting it go to time, if you ask me. Despite all the misses, I had 8 freaking misses. Most of them was the black square bishop on the knight here, but I still think this is a pretty good game.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling.